journalist, and finally Governor General. Perhaps more important than any of those titles, though, is the passion with which Jean has performed each one of them. Known best for her compassion during her time in politics as well as beyond, Jean was both an unlikely and an appropriate choice for Canada's Governor General, a post at which she excelled, not without obstacles as a Haitian immigrant, but a bold persistence and an empathetic understanding of those she feels most in need of aid, define both her personal endeavors and the time she spent representing Canada as Governor General.
So tell me, what was it like growing up in Port-au-Prince, Haiti in the late 1950s? Your father was arrested. Why was that? So because of your father's imprisonment under the dictator François Duvalier regime, your family had to move to Quebec. What was it like being an immigrant in Quebec at such a young age? Well, it certainly is an inspiration that the racism and poverty didn't stop you from continuing your education. Would you like to tell us more about your schooling? So, can I assume that your education in languages and literature at the University of Montreal inspired you to study abroad? Well, the perspective you gained studying abroad, did that influence your journalistic career? Well, as an immigrant, what did it mean to you to be the first person of color to anchor on French television for Radio-Canada? You've spoken openly about the abusive situation during your childhood. Can you tell us how that has affected your work with women's shelters and youth organizations? Right, well, that passion for helping others also influenced your documentary work with your husband, Jean-Daniel Lafont. Tell us about your award-winning documentary, Haiti and All Our Dreams. Well, you also became somewhat of a local celebrity by winning not only a Gemini, but also being offered your own show. So this recognition even expanded to include the Prime Minister of the time, Paul Martin. Were you surprised by your appointment to Governor General of Canada in 2005? So in addition to acting as the Queen's representative in Canada and representing Canada internationally, you also have a young daughter at home. How did you balance all those responsibilities? Now, the role of Governor General is often considered obsolete in our democratic society, with few ties remaining to the monarchy in England. So what did you personally do to combat this opinion of the role you had? While your work with youth, women's groups, and northern communities certainly did gain public approval, your time as Governor General certainly wasn't without controversy. Could you tell us about your role in the 2008 controversy concerning the potential upheaval of the Conservative government by means of a coalition of the opposition? Well, you weathered your fair share of criticism due to the decision you made to prorogue Parliament, giving the Conservatives the chance to remain in power, avoiding a vote of non-confidence, which would have caused them to become a lame duck party. Looking back, do you still support that decision? Well, it certainly is commendable to remain true to your opinions, even under scrutiny, which did not go unnoticed by the Canadian people. When you stepped down from your traditional 5-year term, you held a 60% approval rating amongst Canadian voters. We wish you the best in your future endeavors, and thank you for your time.
Jean was not somebody who allowed the position of Governor General to become obsolete during her time in power. She was a significant advocate for Canada internationally, where she represented her country with political poise. Jean also had an impact, as she had set out to do, on social issues, especially involving youth, immigrants, and those populating the northern provinces and territories. As she stepped down from the traditional 5-year term, it was announced that a foundation would be named for her that would aid the youth of rural, northern, and poor areas. She was also named Special Envoy to her home country of Haiti, with the United Nations Education, Scientific, and Cultural Organization. Michaelle Jean's impact throughout her time as Governor General is best summarized by the way that most Canadians who heard her speak or followed her endeavors remember her. She was passionate to the point of emotion not often seen in politics, while empathizing with and addressing the best interests of the Canadian people.